Escape from Mogadishu is the latest film from director Seung-Wan. I've actually seen many of his films, in fact, most of them. I wasn't the biggest fan of City of Violence, but I do enjoy Veteran, Battleship Island, and Berlin File. Didn't quite enjoy The Unjust, but this, the reason, I wanted to watch this movie, because this is the first Korean movie I've seen in theaters since Peninsula last year. It's been a while because movie theaters are just reopening in my area. They've only been open for a month and a half now. So I wanted to check out this movie simply because I love Korean cinema. But this movie is about North and South Korean diplomats. They are trying to curry favor in Mogadishu, Somalia in the 1990 because they're trying to, neither country is part of the United Nations and they're trying to get in. So they're just sabotaging each other however they can. They obviously have a lot of animosity towards each other. However, a army, I guess, for the people want to depose President Barr and his corruption. So, the fighting starts to break out and people start taking sides. All of a sudden, it's like Argo, but in 1990. So this movie does have a lot in common with Argo. It feels like that. There's a lot more characters, a lot more embellishment going on. This movie's really over the top at times. It's not based off a true story or anything, so you really can't say that it's embellishing, but there's a lot of over the top moments. But I do like all the stunt work. There's some excellent action sequences in this movie, one fight scene and one chase, but mostly it's a grounded political thriller in the vein of Argo, and maybe it felt like Purge sometimes, There's a lot of scary people running around and jeeps shooting at anything that moves. So overall, the acting's pretty strong. I liked the movie overall. It's very taut, harrowing. It's it's based off a not a true story, but it's based off of something that happened around that time period. So a lot of work went into the screenplay, at least, to make it somewhat realistic in that aspect. Acting is pretty good. There's some nice moral quandaries thrown in there. Lots of interesting characters, rich themes that are sort of still relevant to this day. Overall, it's a pretty strong film, well directed, and I definitely enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't care for was near the end of the movie, they try to, action it up a lot, and you could tell. But it wasn't the biggest complaint because it was still an exciting movie. So Escape from Mogadishu was pretty interesting, and I give it a 7 out of 10.